Bro, you supported Joe Biden. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Destiny's tweet on September 20th. I'll go ahead and throw that up here. This is crazy. I didn't see it. Hasan will never be the target of the current administration because Hasan and other tankies like him, Majority Report people, Brianna Joy Gray, the Vanguard. Vanguard's coming up. We're getting more and more references in this slander.
Hey, we were mentioned before TYT. Hell yeah, bro.
TYT.
Destiny knows who the real home of progressives is.
Dead ass. He says, have no desire to pursue real political power. Bro, you supported Joe Biden. What are you talking about? They just make commentary.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
On the left, that is majority designed to attack other Democrats. People like Hasan play an important role in the current power structure to keep the left weak and divided.
Destiny literally attacks people like Hasan more than people like Hasan attack Destiny.
I don't know how to counter that. I don't know if I need like a super hits of how many times. I feel like you could put one of those, what's like one of the wacky like montage songs, like classical music montage wacky songs of like Hasan calling me sex pestity, molestity, epstity, like over and 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 over. Not the Benny Hill one.
So unless you're the only one who's allowed to make fun of other people in your same, on the side of the aisle that you occupy, that's fucking ridiculous.
It's so boring. Like, why can't anybody have a real conversation? Like, do you really think that Destiny, Stephen Bonnell, the guy who's like unhinged on Twitter 99% of the time, that guy would be stupid enough to make the argument, oh guys, we shouldn't make fun of each other? Like, come on, you can't even believe this argument. It's so cringe and stupid. It's so fucking lame how obsessed these fucking losers are with fabricating reality for their audiences. You understand that, like, what they're doing is intentional. One is to make a caricature out of me so that I'm completely incapable of either being taken seriously or ever being engaged with. And then two, they refuse to ever actually engage with me because they can't have that illusion shattered. One of the most annoying things is when idiots like this build up these delusional caricatures of me, is it also, like, it thickens the wall between us. It makes it impossible for us to ever engage because they can't do it now. Because if they were to show their audience, like, a conversation with me, it would be all over. The entire illusion would collapse.
Divided.
Destiny literally attacks people like Hasan more than people like Hasan attack Destiny.
I have no problem if Hasan wants to criticize any of my fucking positions or takes on anything. He doesn't. He just reads my fucking Kiwi Farms thread and then talks about my kid. That's all he does.
So unless you're the only one who's allowed to make fun of other people in your same, on the side of the aisle that you occupy, that's fucking ridiculous. Just fucking gaslighting everyone, acting like he never criticized other people on the left.
Oh, 100%. He was literally just saying on his stream maybe 10 days or less ago that people like Kyle and Crystal had no home in the Democratic Party and that they needed to fuck off and start their own new party. So that's Brianna Joy Gray, Majority Report, Kyle Kalinske, Crystal Ball, the Vanguard, TYT. Oh, he just doesn't want any competition in his fucking lane. He doesn't want anybody that could actually reach the people he's trying to corrupt with the truth. That's why Destiny's flailing him.
That I'm trying to corrupt. Remember, I'm trying to corrupt people by making them vote Democrat. That's my corruption, by the way.
About this.
Yeah, and he says, you're telling me not to disregard Hasan, while at the same time Hasan is saying that I've aligned with fascists who I've constantly and always been at odds with. Sam Hyde, Fuentes, Trump, stop falling for this bait. It's so stupid. And also it's hilarious that he calls like the majority, like he calls Sam and Emma tankies. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious, bro. That is hilarious. I mean, just
Sam, at this point, I'm sorry, I'm out of patience for Sam. Like, Sam on his own probably isn't, but like he co-signs the worst opinions and the worst people on the planet on his fucking show.
It's such an obvious smear. This is like when people on Fox News call like Obama and Hillary like communists or something. Like,
except no, because Obama and Hillary, you guys would even say yourself, are completely different ideologically from you. Like, people like Brianna Joy Gray, you dipshits on the Vanguard, people on the Young Turks, I don't even know where the fuck they're at, would unironically identify as socialists. What do you mean?
You know, not that Sam and Emma aren't radical, they are, but to call them...
And he even realizes in the next second, because he's like, wait a second, did I just compare all of us to Obama and Hillary, who we consider neoliberal shills? Good one, dipshit.
Fucking tankies. You're just saying things. You're just smearing people with words that don't actually align with their values at all. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The person who I would say definitely is closest to a tanking is Brianna, and even she'll push back sometimes on the like wildest tanky bullshit.
Yeah, she's definitely the closest to being a tanky. But yeah, I mean that's what does that even, I mean, do you just mean by tanky anyone who's willing to be critical of Democrats?
Yes. Yeah, you got me. I just don't want anybody ever to criticize Democrats ever. Yes. King.
Anyone that's not just going to gaslight their audience about like Joe Biden, as you mentioned.
Yeah, true.
Is that what a tanky is? I guess we're tankies then.
I guess that is true. Yeah, Gavin and I, like, some people get super sensitive when you use the word tanky, but to me, a tanky is the kind of people who want to just like fucking, hand wave away any criticism of any like, I don't know, the People's Republic of Korea or China or Russia.
Putin, yeah.
And just be like, oh, I'm going to be a Putin nut writer for my fucking political analysis and talk about how the people of Ukraine actually want to be slaughtered by Putin and they want to be occupied. And it's like, bro, people don't want to be fucking occupied. Like, straight up. That is
liberated.
Universal. Yeah, exactly.
They're being liberated. Come on, bro.
I don't think modern tankies even defend Putin. I don't think that's even true, is it? I think they just say that Putin's not a real socialist.
But that is funny.
Yeah.
Shout out to Destiny for...
But you know what they do? is they sure do shit on Eastern Europeans because they hate those motherfuckers for rejecting their Soviet rule. But then in the next breath, they'll also say the Soviet Union wasn't real communism or socialism. If you ever wonder why Hasan shits on Polish people so much, that's why.
For mentioning us as being part of the same political coalition as TYT, even though he's also criticizing us for constantly criticizing TYT.
Very strange.
He's like, these people make too much videos criticizing TYT, but also
Do I? What?
shout out to Destiny for mentioning us as being part of the same political coalition as TYT, even though he's also criticizing us for constantly criticizing TYT.
I criticize these guys for criticizing the young Turks. Have I ever done that ever in my life?
Very strange.
He's like, these people make too much videos criticizing TYT, but also they're in the same.
Okay.
What? That doesn't make sense.
True. It doesn't
But
make
shout out to you,
sense.
Chief. Thank you so much. Shout out to John. Thanks for the $4.99. Arguably the best part of Kirk's death is watching Faux, Breitbart, his take, and especially the young Trump's head explode in anger. I mean, yeah, it's been kind of funny, but it's also just been boring hearing all these people glaze Charlie Kirk and gaslight us all about what he stood for and what his legacy was. Like, it's just boring. Like this fucking Her Take episode, I was watching it live and just kept going on and just glazing him and lying and, you know, repeating the stupid bullshit, acting like he was someone he wasn't. So, you know, it's kind of cringe.
Here's the core.
Brought this up yesterday or the day before. What I'm calling for is I'm not asking the left to unilaterally disarm. What I'm asking the left to do is I'm saying that the right wing is currently not interested in playing fair or engaging in diplomacy, but the left wing should engage in diplomacy. And they should also be ready that if the right wing, instead of bringing up their hand in friendship to negotiate a new American peace, and the right wing instead brings up the gun of civil war, the left wing brings up the gun of civil war and shoots the right wing in the face, metaphorically, of course. So when we're wing, but the left wing should engage in diplomacy. And they should also be ready that if the right wing, instead of bringing up their hand in friendship to negotiate a new American peace, and the right wing instead brings up the gun of civil war, the left wing brings up the gun of civil war and shoots the right wing in the face, metaphorically, of course. So when we're dealing with this prisoner's dilemma, what I'm trying to do, which is actually really interesting that he was able to highlight it so quickly, is I am trying to do this situation as much as possible, whereas I'm kind of arguing that Stephen's rhetoric pushes us, green, pushes us more towards a...
Oh, shit. Oh, God, I lost it. Oh, no, I remember this before stream. I was going to write it down, and I just remember that I remembered it. No, I remember that I forgot it. Oh, I remembered it. Oh, my God, I remembered it. I can't believe I didn't say this before. You want to know the best example? I brought this up before, but I never connected in my mind. The best example of why tit for tat is a good strategy and why Republicans don't really believe in the danger that they say that the left represents. You know why? It's because Joe Biden was the president of the United States of America when the Supreme Court issued the presidential criminal immunity, and not a single person on the Republican side was scared of that. None of them cared. None of them thought about it. None of them gave a fuck. That's the example of them, because they knew that Biden and the Democrats would never do anything unhinged or crazy that he would need criminal immunity for. That's an example of, like, they should be afraid, not of anybody going to kill them, and I'm not saying we should do that, but like a healthy amount of fear of repercussions of being unhinged, I think would have made them tread a lot more carefully on that. Well, should the president have immunity from crimes? Oh, I have a lot more followers. Maybe that's where they came from. This was a good one. One of the go-to strats when I used to argue with my mom about politics more, if I ever wanted to just like exit the argument, start making her cry, I would just like quote like old Trump things at her, and she would start losing it. Stevie, don't say that. Mom, it's your president. He thought he was behind closed doors, Stevie. Remember the meme, guys. The left left me behind. The left left me behind. The left left me behind, guys. The left left me behind. The left left me behind. Why is that image posted 4 times? Because it's so true. My wife and I are trying Expedition 33 for the first time. Any tips? Yeah, kick your wife the fuck out, okay? I don't know if you ever get more men in your party, but it's all women, okay? Your wife doesn't need to be there for that, for the harem. Only 2 of them are in the harem, though, because one is underage. Oh, 46K on this one. God damn. My vampire one only did 6.5K? What? Wait, did this guy block me? Is he mad? Who did I even quote tweet on this? Fuck you. Eric Hovagim, you are poggers. Aww. I can't believe I flew all the way down to wherever the fuck I went to film this episode with Michael Knowles, and they didn't release it. Fuck this guy. Like a year ago. What do you think of Crowder's response to you? I don't remember. Did I tweet it? He's a pussy. He's a loser. You know, I was skeptical. However, after reviewing some archival footage, I reached the conclusion that the omniliberal is correct. Yesterday was exactly like a Nazi rally. Remember this. You can see this happen in real time, actually. The best example, I think, is Trump's January 6th speech compared to Biden's America speech or whatever, where you'll have like a whole ass fucking speech. And if it's a Democrat, Republicans will go through this with a fine-tooth comb, and they'll find like the one part that they might think is objectionable, and then they will stereotype that to pretend the whole thing is like that. But when it comes to a Republican speaking, like the whole thing can be evil, but they'll try to find like one okay statement, and then they'll project that onto the entire presentation, even if the whole thing, like the characterization of it, is probably more negative than not. But good one. I assume you've seen that Stephen Bald Goebbels Miller quoted from 2 different Goebbels speeches for his vile garbage yesterday. I did not see that. I will say, I don't usually tell people to pump the brakes on those memes because that guy is fucking Hitler Jr. However, I will say that like any fascist leader or like any political leader giving a speech, there's probably going to be things that everybody says that are somewhat similar when you're like jerking off your country and all that shit. Like I'm sure if we were to go through all of Goebbels and fucking Hitler speeches, we can find things that Obama and Biden and everybody around the world has said about their country, whatever, maybe. Although there are some things that are really fucking weird. Like when Trump, we all just kind of like move on from it because no one cares. Like I don't even know where you would get this language from.
You know, when they let, I think the real number is 15, 16 million people into our country.
Remember when I said back then it was 15 million? That's how many Joe Biden let in initially. And then during the election season and right after it was 20 million. And the last time I heard him bring it up, it was 25 million, right? But this was back when he was running, so it was still just 15 million.
You know, when they let, I think the real number is 15, 16 million people into our country. When they do that, we got a lot of work to do. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and
poisoning the blood of our country. That's a really crazy string of words.